Good afternoon. I am joined today by Professor Payam Akhavan. Professor, thank you very much for being here today and allowing us the opportunity to ask you a few questions on the formation of the Iran Tribunal, which is to try the Islamic Republic of Iran for the mass executions of the 1980s. Professor, you have been one of the founders of the tribunal. Could you please explain to me the purpose of the tribunal?
For those familiar with Iranian history, the mass executions of 1988 were really the consummation of one of the bloodiest periods in modern Iranian history. In a decade where tens of thousands were executed, the fatwa of Ayatollah Khomeini for really the mass murder of political prisoners in 1988 stands symbolically as the equivalent of Iran's Srebrenica. Just as in Srebrenica in Yugoslavia we saw a mass murder of 8,000 Bosnian Muslims, and that came to symbolize the excesses and atrocities of that regime. But what's important to understand is that a significant part of Iranian society is still unaware that these events took place. And one of the essential instruments of tyrannical regimes is misinformation, is indoctrination, is deception. And it's telling that the regime still 20 years later has not even acknowledged that these executions took place, that the victims have been buried in unmarked graves, which shows the importance that a tyrannical regime attaches to ensuring that the truth is not uncovered. And one of the most powerful weapons, really, that those that struggle to create a better future founded on democracy, founded on human rights have, is simply to let the Iranian people know the truth. And of course, the tribunal is not a substitute for a criminal justice process. The perpetrators of these crimes, many of whom are still in positions of authority, need to be brought to justice. But at least as part of a process of public education, the tribunal is a very important means of uncovering the truth, educating the public, and of course giving the victims and the families of victims a measure of recognition for the terrible suffering that they have gone through.